Let's talk for 30. Where you at on your journey? Tell me what you learning. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Do you give back to your city or educate the ones that listen? Time to show them how to get it. Give the people what they missing. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Let's talk for 30. Drina.
Welcome to Talk for 30, a platform for individuals to share their life stories, journeys, and passions with us. Today I have Jackie with me. Jackie, share your name and about your business.
Hi, I am Jackie, and I am CEO of Gifted with Jackie Fitness and Wellness, an umbrella that is women-owned in wellness, total body restoration, coaching the whole you to be the best you, Help Matter Live podcast. My husband also, Patrick, is the COO.
All right, she's busy. You are a very busy person. Share your inspiration behind healthy lifestyle coaching.
Well, healthy lifestyle coaching, someone asked me that about a couple of weeks ago. We partnered with Atlanta Community Health and for gestational diabetes, and I never had a person asked me this before. The lady came up to my table and she said, "Where did this come from? What inspired this?" I said, "Well, it was birthed through pain." I said, it came through the darkest hour of my life. You know, so I was, I've been in fitness for over 35 years. And I'm grinding and, as I say, living my best life. Mm-hmm. And had corporate contracts and civil service worker. So if you say I had it going on, living my best life. But 2007 came, diagnosed with zero-stage breast cancer. So that means it hadn't spread. Mm-hmm. And so I tell you, from that time I was upset, I was angry because I never thought something like that would happen to me. And I'm like, wow, and I'm just in the grind of doing what I'm doing. And I just went before God. I cried and I cried, and then I just heard the voice of God said, "Are you done?" Mm-hmm. And he said, "This sickness is not unto death. It is. You will fulfill your purpose and be a blessing to others. I will use you to be a blessing." And he said, it's not about just the exercise, but it's about the temple and the whole self. And from that, everything just kind of changed in my purpose. I would say I was pressed and pushed into purpose. And that's where the inspiration comes from. You know, taking care of myself, and of course, you know, having family members pass on from preventative diseases that could have been prevented because of behavior and lifestyle. And so that's just my inspiration, is to inspire others to live healthier and active lifestyle.
Tell me what services you provide as a healthy lifestyle coach.
As a healthy lifestyle coach, my husband and I are CDC recognized, globally recognized as healthy lifestyle coaches for diabetes prevention. We do diabetes management. On the fitness side, we do functional exercises for active ages. We like to call them thrivers, because we are thrivers. We're moving. So along with nutrition coaching, you know, providing pretty much just coaching others and finding what works for them at every stage of their life. Also a menopause health coach to help coach women through menopause through nutrition and fitness. So those are all under my umbrella, and also speaker.
And speaker.
And radio talk show host.
And we're definitely going to get into that, yes. So with you specializing in women wellness, when you talk about diabetes, what services do you cater to the community?
Really, to the underserved community, the prevention part, the DPP.
Okay, the DPP.
Yes, because we have, just like Augusta was cited for the number one cases of gestational diabetes in females from the age 18 to 44. So Atlanta came down to bring awareness to the city of Augusta how serious this is. Wow. But also the lifestyles in our underserved community because of food disparity, healthcare disparity. We tend behaviors. We tend to kind of like to stay on the soul food side. So we want to bring awareness and help people change behaviors and reverse this, because you can reverse pre-diabetes before it gets to type 2 diabetes. But you have to put the effort in. You have to be willing to make the changes. So we do a year-long program, and everybody like, that's just too long. Well, sometimes it takes that long to convert and change these habits that you've been doing all your life. It ain't gonna happen overnight. This is a step-by-step process. You are unlearning something that you have learned all your life, and it's not going to take overnight or a couple of months. And that works from different person to person.
Right. Yeah. Because if you change it overnight, you know, you're not guaranteed to continue to do it. It needs to be practiced.
Because it ain't sticking, it ain't defaulting down there. It's not, it's like a program.
Right.
It's not defaulting down there. So guess what? Soon as something happened, guess what happened? I get in autopilot, I get stressed, I convert right back to those old habits. And it has not become a lifestyle. It's not automatic. So you want to get it to be a lifestyle where I automatically do this. And the desire to do, you got to have the desire. You got to want to do it.
Right.
Everybody's just not coachable yet.
That's right. Let's talk about Fit Over 50.
Oh my goodness.
What's the story behind Fit Over 50?
Fit Over 50 is the beginning of change. You know, menopause, and some people go through it earlier. I was pushed through it earlier because of breast cancer. So I kind of went through it a little bit earlier, but things change. Our body changed. Our body composition changed, the way we move changed, the way we eat changed, and all that matters. All that matters. And so I think the hardest part is us mentally accepting it and embracing it. So I like to help women to embrace that change, because sometimes a part of our brain is still stuck back in high school and thinking we still gonna look and feel the same way we used to. Or we gonna jump into this workout and we just gonna jump out of recovery quick. Oh no, your body will quickly tell you, come on, let's
sit back down.
Yeah, let's redo this and find another way. So 50, I just think it's the beginning of just discovering. You're really just discovering who you are. I used to tell my daughter, she was like, I'm living my best life. I said, you ain't lived long enough. Y'all ain't really live until you start hitting that 50 and you start experiencing things in life. And it's like, wow, what's going on? What happened? I wasn't thinking about this in 30s and 40s. Now I'm in my 50s. I'm more aware of things now. I'm less tolerant to certain things. And so you find your body start not receiving things like it used to. You're not as patient as you used to, or I can't eat this the way I used to. And then my body take a little bit longer to recover and rest, and stress management become very important. So, but my biggest thing is mentally accepting it and embracing it and loving every part of your body, from the underarms to the elbows to the eyes to everything about who you are. And if we can do that, I'm telling you, it would change, because it's all about loving you. And that's at every stage of your life. Make the necessary adjustments and changes, tweak it, adjust it, and keep moving forward. Because I wouldn't trade my 57-year-old self for my 20 and 30s.
Okay.
Because I am more wiser than I was back then. Yeah.
And you forgot to mention some of those aches and pains.
Oh yeah, the joints.
Just new feelings.
It's just, and you're like, where does this come from? And my doctor, she said, And I think you're in menopause. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because I was sitting in the house when I'm like, what's wrong? I thought I was going crazy. So she said, let's run some hormone tests. And she ran some hormone tests, and thyroid was off, and all this stuff is off. And a lot of women don't realize that, and they're still trying to exercise the way they used to. And when you have estrogen depletion and progesterone depletion, guess what increases? Cortisol. So inflammation increases. So the intensity of your workout matters. So you can either exercise too much or too little, but you got to find that medium, what works. Because if you're doing too much, it increase cortisol, which is inflammation, which a lot of it goes in the belly. And that's why you see a lot of women protrude more in the midsection. And some people joke, they call it the menopause belly. And so that's why eating better matters, eating right matters, exercising the right way. So exercise become more like, ooh, well, I got to really move now, because if you don't move, you get stiff, your joints. So it's all about finding that fit. That's my vision for Women Owning Wellness. Finding your fit and owning your wellness. And that's what it's about. It's discovery. It's a journey.
Fit over 50.
Yes. And it's good. I love it. Don't like some of the effects that comes with it, but I'm loving the wise woman that I have become and still becoming.
The journey.
Yeah, the journey
of it. You have so many accomplishments from what we've talked about. One of the things I love is the podcast, where you and your husband are co-hosting together. Share about that.
Well, Help Matters came about, of course, Donna Westby. She's one of my mentors, former general manager of WAW, Shout 94.7, and as a lot of you know that it was bought by Fox Sports. So, of course, the program fit their format. So we all kind of went different ways. So immediately God told us, he said, the mission hasn't changed. The platform may be different, but the mission will continue to stay on. And so my husband, being the analytical kind of introvert, and I'm like, I said, okay, I'm being extrovert. I said, okay, we got to start the podcast. So my husband is the type, he's very perfectionist. He said, we got to do it right. So we had this one huge room in the house, just had storage in it. He took it and converted it into a whole studio. And so we got it. It took about a month and a half, and everybody said, where y'all at? And we said, we're coming. You just, so sometimes you have to, I have to nudge him a little bit. So, but sometimes I listen to his wisdom because he's a very wise man. And so the podcast is the same. We bring relevant information that pertains to your health and well-being. We bring professionals on. People share their testimonies, and a lot of people, one of our sponsors is Dr. Dan Jolich, Aiken Chiropractor. He still, was our sponsor of the show. So we're getting more sponsors. So our mission and what God has given us is to serve the underserved and others and bring awareness, give them the information, and provide them the proper tools to make healthy life sustainable changes through every stage and age of their life.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we're like that gap from the doctors to the people, because we have so much doctor networking going on. And I asked God, I said, why is I'm connected to all of these doctors and you have a relationship? And that's why, because we're bridging the gap from the doctors to the community to make them aware what's going on. This is what you need to be aware of. That way you can, giving you the proper the information and the proper tools to apply this, because it does become a journey until you make a step. So you got to do something, and God rewards effort.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Oh yes, and being that resource is so vital, because so many people just don't know.
They don't know. Believe it or not, we had a senior group out in Blythe, and they are so unaware of what's going on. They are afraid of a computer. I taught silver sneakers when I was director at the Wide Augusta South, and I started that program, and God began to show me you can't use that class like you do your regular exercise class. He said, because they are a community. And so he said, just kind of look at how they move and how they operate and how they think. And so I formed a community in there. And so some of them like to bake cakes and some like to do this. So we had sock hops. We had sweetheart parties. And so the husband and wife would buy their husband. Oh, we had a ball. We went out to lunch. We went shopping. We went on trips. And people like, how did you do it? I said, because they are different. They are different. You have to allow them to kind of lead you. You just become the facilitator and let them lead you, because it's about them. It's about community. Some of them was widow and widowers, and so they didn't have anybody.
Right.
So that was that mean of relationship with them. And so I tell people, but they are so scared of what's going on. So I used to bring people in there to talk about identity theft. I used to bring physical therapists in there, chiropractors in there. I bought people with food in there. So that's how you have to gravitate. It's good to move, but informing them, because they are very uninformed and they are afraid of what's going on and what's moving forward. They don't even know what to do. So just those things right there is my passion, to get that information and to help them, feel a little bit comfortable moving through this age.
And we could see that's your passion.
Yes.
How is it working with your husband?
It's awesome.
It is.
It is. People
What do you
like,
enjoy the most?
The collaboration and the inspiration and the difference. And I tell people ask, wow, y'all work so well together. Not saying we don't have our challenges, but we have mastered to agree to disagree. 40 years in January we've been married. And so that is an amazing, so we're totally different, but his strengths help my weakness.
That's right.
So when we've seen how our personalities are wired, we understand how each other works. So I let him operate in his lane. He let me operate there. We bring this thing in here and we just flourish and get fit with Jackie Fitness and Wellness work.
That's right. And when you lack, you pick it up. It's just the
There we
automatic
go.
thing.
Absolutely.
Teamwork. What did you enjoy the most when you were on the radio show before your podcast?
The people calling, the joy of people receiving and getting the information and applying it and doing it, and just the family. It was like a family, with them, and just to call in to share their stories and say, I listened to you. And because sometimes, the enemy can get in your head, ain't nobody listening to this. And so to get that call to someone to say, not so much of a validation, but I'm getting this, Jackie and Coach Patrick. I hear you. And just to know that they are hearing and they're getting it and they're applying it and it's working, that brings joy. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring joy in doing what I'm doing.
Is there ever a show that you had that really, really impacted you and you always reminisce on?
Yes. The breast cancer awareness, because of people's story, how they have overcome. And we had women that it was at stage 4 and they have survived. And then you had ones that have lost loved ones, and it has inspired them to do better and get their checks. So those moments, because me being a survivor, 17 years, you still have that back in your head when you got to go get that mammogram, and the enemy try to come in and just kind of, say things and do things, and you have to remind him, no, I am healed. By Jesus' stripes, I am healed. And so for me to encourage someone else like that and hear someone else's story like that, that's
definitely impacts you.
And every show is good, but that you have those are just very dear to me. And October month is very dear to me. Yes.
Cancer month. Okay. What obstacles did you face when starting your show?
Ooh, scared. I was, I'm gonna be transparent. Just being accepted by the audience, that affirmation of validation that we're doing good. Just collaboration, just the challenges of people collaborating together. I'm a type of person, and that's just my personality. I like to see everybody get along, and it's just me. That's my world. That's what I like. But everybody's just not like that.
No.
So the facing the challenge of people wanting just resistance to want to collaborate together and partner together, and I think that's just the biggest challenge. Is just partnering with people, and just let's do this together. God
Networking.
gave each and every one of us a gift, and I heard Mama wrote his, read his book, and it's awesome. And he said the worst failure you can be in is being out of the assignment God called you to be. Because see, when God gives an assignment, He gives an a grace to go with it. He gives an anointing to go with it. And so whenever there's a gift and there's anointing, that's the provision is there. Everything you need is on that path. But if you're off that path, He's not obligated to align everything and everybody that is assigned to that vision to work with you. So you have to be in your right assignment. You have to be in line with God's word, hearing His voice, and in tune to what He has called you to do. And it's very critical because you're going to answer for that. The gifts are without repentance. So you may be very well operating in it, but are you in the right assignment of doing what you're supposed to do? And that's why I say people see your journey and they want to benefit off the results of your journey, but they don't know the journey.
Right.
But they want to prosper off the results and doing something you doing, but not doing what God has called you to do.
That's right. And you see a lot of that.
Oh yes,
You really do.
Yeah, that's another story.
Another story, another day.
In the book.
Let's get back to Get Fit with Miss Jackie here.
Okay.
How can someone get involved with that?
Well, you can go to our website, getfitwithjackie.net. We just upgraded our website. It gives you everything that you need on there for its speaking, for its coaching, for its everything is on there. How to get in touch with us, how to go to our podcast. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, Help Matters Jackie and Coach. And we also on Spotify. You can download us on Spotify as well. And those are the areas you can get in touch with you. And you also can get in touch with me on Women on the Wellness on Instagram.
She gave it to y'all.
And the programs that we do is funded by grants. So you don't have to pay for these programs that we provide. It is free. Whole thing we want is your time. That's it, your time. It is paid for through federal grant. We just need your participation. So if you want to get healthy, you want to get well, you want to live long, we're here to help you to live a healthy and active lifestyle.
Wow. Wow, she's giving gems, free gems
Yep.
to stay healthy.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
I know it. Don't have to go pay nobody hundreds of dollars. We right here.
Right here.
Funded money from your federal government.
Okay, I like that. What advice would you provide to women over 40 who are not satisfied with Mother Nature and the things that Mother Nature brings upon them?
The advice I would provide is love yourself. Because if you're not loving yourself right now, you're not going to love who you are becoming. Because you are going to become. It's loving that person you becoming. Because change is inevitable. It's going to happen. Now you mentally got to go there. So just loving who you are. Be ready to embrace change mentally, because it's going to change. It's going to happen. So when you embrace that, don't look at the vanity of things. Don't let someone define you and tell you this is what you should look like. We all have a different body composition. It's just finding that fit that works for you. And we have been told this is it, this type of body is it, and this type of body is that. No, what I call it is a healthy body at a healthy weight, where you have energy, where you feel well and you're doing well. Things are working for you. That means it's working. Your blood levels are good. That's a healthy body. So I tell people, don't stop looking at numbers, because numbers can be misleading. Don't look at all the misleading misinformation, the misused misinformation. Those are my three, and they are misunderstood. Get with someone that knows to give you the information. If somebody is trying to tell you something, but also trying to sell you a product, not knocking anyone, but everything is out there, is not good for you. People don't know your medical history. They don't know what's going on with you. So when you begin to have these adverse effects and you don't know what's going on, you need to just be careful. So that's the advice. Just love yourself moving forward. Look in the mirror and love every part about who you are. When you start that now, you'll be able to move through this 50 age a little bit better. So the Bible said, Titus, the elders must teach the young ones. And that's what we are too, to guide them. And we are the ones that teaching the young. Don't count them down. Don't say they old fashioned. There's some wisdom that comes with age. Just listen. Just listen, because it'll help you in the end. Trust me. I wish I listened to my mom. So if I can help a young person, listen.
It's amazing how you see things that your mom tried to tell you. My mama said that.
Yeah.
That's right. Are there any community events that you host usually, or do you have any upcoming community events?
Most of the community events, just like I said, we just did the partner with the Atlanta Public Health for the gestation of diabetes. We just started out with 2 cohorts. We are partners with the East Central District Public Health.
Good.
So people get in touch with us through the public health. We are partnering with them for high blood pressure, hypertension, and diabetes prevention. So you can get in touch with us through them. Just like I say, go on our website, check all our credentials, because it'll show you we are globally recognized as diabetes educators in this region. We do have WOW, Women on the Wellness, getting ready to come up 2024. So we can't spill the beans on that right now, but we got some surprises, and God has shifted some things. We're in our 7th year of Women Owning Wellness, and God, and I like to say, He allowed it to happen, because I tell people, I just don't go out there and do something just because it's trending and it's a fad. It has to be something God doing it. And I want to go back to say, when we said we live in our best life, and God had to show me that. He said, you live in your best life, but I'm in that best life.
Very important.
Because if I ain't in that best life, you just living the life you want to live, and not the life that I created for you to live and predestined for you to live. So be careful when we say we live in our best life. If God ain't in it, it's just yours and not Him.
That's right.
But yes, but we have some things coming up in our 2024 right now. Finishing up my book on the last chapter. Just finished the cover. That's why, getting things done and getting in order. And matter of fact, I shared with Andrina that people was telling me to write this book and say, okay, you need to write a book. And I'm like, I just can't do this. I'm not an author. I'm not a writer. And it's just, it wasn't flowing. It wasn't flowing. And I'm not the person that is just jump off and do something. I'm not haphazardly just because somebody doing it. I wait on the voice of God and the instructions of God. And so after I finished last year, Women on the Wellness last conference, that's when God set me down, because I go back to Him and recap and, do an after action review, and He said, the book is finished. I said, the book is finished? I'm like, I ain't write anything. He said, yes, you have. You have walked this journey for 6 years. Now it's time for you to write this book, and now it's time for you to step back and walk other women through this journey of discovering to find their fitting on their wellness. So the book is
He
finished.
gave it to you.
So each year was a chapter of the book, and I didn't have no idea what I
he
was
was gonna
doing, but he knew.
I am also a witness of that and a firm believer in, as you say, waiting on his word and walking on that, because he will lay things out for you and you don't have no idea where is this coming from. But then when it comes to play and he say move and you move, he aligns it for you.
Everything.
You don't have to worry.
You don't. Just be in the right assignment.
That's it. Assignment. That's the word of today. What are two of the most popular topics that women like to discuss when relating to their health?
The most of it is nutrition, and just menopause, aging, eating, what to eat, how to exercise. Those are the main topics. And I tell women that it's just, you have to find that, it's like that trial and error, what works for you. Some things are more tolerable, it's less tolerable now than when you was younger, because see, then we can do those things, but now that things are shifting and changing, digestive system changing, you need a little bit more fiber now than what you normally need in fiber. You need more water, less of this, more of this. And so just putting these things together, and they try to get you to just create a plan. It's like, it's a learning error. What is that you enjoy eating, or what did you like eating? And I tell people, don't deprive yourself. Just kind of adjust what you're doing. Instead of frying, bake. Instead of eating more vegetables, build healthier habits. So just one habit at a time. Take a few habits, prioritize those habits, and just build them habits little by little. I give them the story of the 3 pigs. And I did this on my coaching session. And people are like, 3 pigs? Yeah, the 3 pigs. You had 3 pigs. And one of them, you had 3 of them. The first 2, they had straws and hay, and they just built their house,
real quick.
And because you got the pillars. When you putting foundation down, you got to put strong foundation down, something that's gonna last. And so they just went out there and just throw some hay and stuff together, ran on out. Well, the 3rd little pig took his brick. He took his time. He thought it out. He had a plan, and he took brick by brick, stone by stone. But he was building a solid foundation. And then that wolf came, trouble came, and when they blew, they just kind of withered away. So you gotta build a strong foundation. So I tell people your why. Always know your why, because your why is going to impact the what. Because if you don't have an internal reason why you're doing what you're doing, guess what? Your what will just become a what. And it's not as impactful. So having that internal and meaningful why, that's going to motivate you. Because if you think motivation alone is going to help you, it's not. Motivation is just like an object sitting there waiting for something to move it. And what that is that desire, that passion in wanting to do this. So you have to have the desire to want it first. When you get the desire, what is my why? And so when I have a moment and I fall off right here, and we all gonna have those moments, because what? Life happens. I tell my clients, plan for the what ifs. No, you ain't planning on nothing to happen. But if you plan for the what if, you'll be a little bit more resilient as you move forward. So you got to have that why. You think about why I'm doing this, that hope. My grandbabies, I want to be here a long time. I want to live, That's going to build that motivation up. You get right back up on track and make your adjustment. And guess what? Keep on moving. What you did for 2 years may need to be changed. It need to be adjusted. So make the adjustment and move on. Don't get into failure. Don't allow those negative thoughts to creep in. Just tell yourself, hey, I didn't do too well for lunch. Oh, I'll do better on dinner time. And that's what you got to continue to tell yourself. It's lasting change starts in the mind. That battle is in the mind. Transformation starts in the mind.
Mindset.
And you have to give yourself positive thinking. I have a journal that I call Intentionally Positive Thinking. And these are my positive affirmation. Having a list of positive affirmation and telling yourself that every single day when the enemy comes in, you got to remind him who you are and whose you are and who you belong to. Absolutely. So, yes.
Yes. And you know, you and I bonded on the phone the very first time we spoke.
Oh, we did.
And I'm just sitting here like, oh, confirmation every time you speak.
Yes, I like when spirit connects spirit.
Let's talk about women and aging well. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, like we said before, just aging gracefully, aging well, just having a positive mindset, knowing who you are, knowing that your validation don't come from people, because people are going to have their opinion of you and they don't know you.
Yep, it's true.
You just being sure of who you are. Having those credible authorities in your lives, those people that can tell you the truth but love you too. And there may be few in between. It's
hard to find those.
So having that circle of people that I can get on the phone and just minister to me. But just aging well is taking care of our physical, spiritual, and our emotional health. And that's how we have to. Forgiving. Forgive yourself. That's the hardest thing we can do. Showing yourself grace. Giving ourselves grace. And just enjoying life. Do things that you like to do. Vacation. Have fun. Just enjoy. Because God, He gave us life to enjoy. And just loving. Love other women. Appreciate other women. Appreciate their uniqueness. We all are uniquely, fearfully, wonderfully made. Embrace other, collaborate with other. That's growth. Come out of the small mindset and come into a growth mindset. Because in that small mindset, you're stuck in a box, in a perimeter, and you don't grow. So come up out of that and come into the growth mindset. That means you will be exposed and God will broaden your territory. And don't tell Him to broaden my territory, but you don't want to collaborate. You don't want to grow. You want to stay in the same mindset setting. And you're afraid to move and grow. And that's where God expands out of the growth. And sometimes we don't want to step in it because it's unfamiliar territory.
Right.
But God said, I bring you into unfamiliar territory. And He is with us the whole time. So it's about just loving yourself, loving God, love ourselves, and love others. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve one another. Jesus came to serve, not to be served.
You heard it.
That's it. And just enjoy life.
Enjoy life. You talked about being married for 40 years, right? How did you meet your husband?
We grew up together.
Really?
Yes. We
From childhood?
From childhood, yes.
Wow.
We grew up together, so we just know each other so well.
And how many children do you have?
We have 2. My son is celebrating his 40th birthday today, and we'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary as well.
Wow.
Our daughter is 37, and we have 3 grandkids. I call them my Jans, Jeremiah, Aya, and Noah. In that order.
That's nice.
Yes,
that's nice.
Yes.
What do you enjoy most doing with your family?
Oh, just playing games, just being with them and having fun.
Just
looking
being
at the old videos and talk about old times and just having them around because it's a privilege to even age.
Yeah.
And so just to have family still there and it's close there and they'll have a relationship with God and just be able to just see my kids and they're here. They don't have to travel nowhere. That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
So for the holidays like Thanksgiving, do everybody come to your house?
Well, since we are now, we call it, I don't like to call it in-laws, with our other family in love on my daughter's side. And what we do is we get together and we go together on their side for Thanksgiving.
Gotcha.
And then they come to our house on Christmas because my children grew up that way. Our mothers, my husband and my mother was best friends, and our sisters are best friends, and our
Y'all really
nephews
grew
and
up
nieces.
together.
So we that family. And everybody, and I love my mother-in-law. She passed at age 96, 11 children, 30-some grandchildren, great-grandchildren, just a gem. She taught me so much, and my mom as well. So they became the best of friends. So that closeness my children was used to. So I prayed, God, we have to have that same, I want that same type of connection with our bonded family.
Yeah,
And we do.
I
We
love
have
that. Reminds me of my family as well. My bonus mom and dad, that's what I call them. I don't say mother-in-law or father-in-law. They're the same way. My bonus mom is a jewel. She is so sweet, and she's been that way since day one. My husband reminds me so much of her. She's very caring. She will give you her last, and she's a sweetheart. And then when my father passed away, my bonus dad is like, he just stepped right on in for anything that was missing. When I say anything, I mean anything
That's
that I
awesome.
felt
That's
was
a
missing.
blessing.
It is. I am so grateful. I thank God all the time
That's
for
why I
that,
say
because
so grateful.
not everyone has that relationship with their bonus parents, or some say in-laws. Okay, if someone wrote a book about you right now, and not your book, what do you think the title would be?
Inspiration.
I love that about
God
you.
gave me that word. He said, I am an inspiration.
Yes.
He said, when you come around people, they are going to be inspired. And he said, you're going to leave them better than they was. And when you leave their presence, they will be inspired. But it's not you, it's the anointing that I have placed on your life.
I love that. And that's true. How do you balance your career, being a wife, mom, grandma, and finding time for yourself?
Well, I tell people, when my husband went to the military, I can't, we got married, and we made the decision together that I will raise our children, stay home until they got to the age where they didn't have to need mama every day. And because he was signal, and so he stayed gone all the time, so I had to be there for my children. So as they age and they got older, I got a part-time job, of course, as a trainer at the YMCA. And so I think the balance comes in with, at first, just not having that balance, didn't know growing as a young mother, because I was a young mother, growing as a mother. But as I began to grow, as I began to meet other seasonal women, and I said, though I call them older, to teach me and to mentor me and show me things I learned, because I was away from my mother. I took those things that my mom did taught me, but also from other seasonal women that taught me. But the balance is, it was a career, and after the career, that was my best life. That was the grinding. Then it became a ministry. Now I tell people it's productive, so the balance is there because the grace and the anointing is there to do what I have to do and find that balance, meaning I set aside and rest when I need to rest. But when I'm doing it, the grace and the ability is there to do it, and there's no stress, strain, or sorrow with it. And that's the same way with my family. And so I sit my time aside and I get my breaks and we go on our vacation. And that's how I balance it, God, because I have to put me first on that priority list as I put everybody else. And I thank God for my husband, because he comes along and helps so much. He said one day in our conference, he said, this lady have served me for over 20 years. Now I'm here to serve her.
That balance.
That balance. So yes, he's that. I'm a visionary, and he's a creator. He helped this thing come to life.
To life.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is the most important lesson you think you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Knowing your craft, knowing, becoming a subject matter expert at what you do, learning everything that you can about your craft, developing it, and be willing to humble yourself and learn from others that has done even greater things, and get jealousy out of your heart.
You're right about
Get
that.
it out your heart, because you can be doing the same thing, but the missions can be different. The approach can be different. Just those things. Just know your craft. Know that this is who God called, what He has called you to do. Because you already naturally like what you're supposed to be.
Right.
People just ain't tapped into it. And so once you tap into it, you know, you go with it, and with passion and fervent, and just be purpose driven, not just people driven.
Right, purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose. And what role would you say faith has played in your life so far?
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
Whole lot.
Whole lot.
Because without faith, it's impossible to please God and to been through what I have been through, and even 40 years of marriage, you know, and people say, "Oh, I want a husband like that." I said, "Well, we became one, and still becoming one."
Still
so
that journey.
There you go.
That journey.
That's a development process. So you have to create that journey, because I said personalities are different. So, but it's just, I'm telling you, it's a journey. That's all I can say. It's a journey of discovery, your identity, who you are, and you don't. They think they get it, and that's why, you know, my husband and I, we kind of, you know, mentor younger married couples, and, you know, and they look at things on television, on social media. I'm like, that's all, that ain't, we said the marriage happened, the ring and the I do's and all this. I said, now life starts.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It starts
Life. Man,
It's
that's
a
the
lot
real
of
journey.
give and take. It's a lot of compromising, and some things you can't hold on to that you gotta let. It's just time to let
Gotta let
go.
go.
It's just it's hard, and there's a lot of people that have a hard time letting go things in the past, but you'll never move forward holding on to something. Yeah.
Well, it has been a pleasure sitting here with you today.
Thank you.
You want to share anything else about what you have going on?
That's basically it. Finishing up the book and getting ready for WOW, Women on the Wellness 2024. So we are happy and excited of what God He has done something incredible and phenomenal, and He has blown my mind. So like I said, I can't share it yet, but it's
coming.
God said, you done the lead work, and now it's time to present.
All right.
Present.
Just be patient.
Here
It's coming.
she goes. It's like you feel like you've been ignored, and God said, no, I have my season. Men may have their reason, but I hold the time and the season when I'm ready to present you.
It's time.
And that's it. Walk in your purpose. Walk in your purpose. That's all I can say. Make sure you're in the right assignment. Get with God. Check in with Him. Make sure you are in the right assignment, because you're in the right assignment. Everything that you have and need and want is going to be provided by Him.
All right. So that's the word of the day, guys. What is your assignment? Think about it. Only you can make that vision become your reality. Talk for 30 is all about inspiring, motivating, and educating others, as she has done here with us today, and she's continuing to do. If you have a story that you would like to share, contact me, and let's talk for 30. Bye.
Bye.
Let's talk for 30. Where you at on your journey? Tell me what you learning. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Do you give back to your city or educate the ones that listen? Time to show them how to get it. Give the people what they missing. Let's talk for 30. 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 Talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Drina.